Good morning. I am going to attempt to make a video to show you kind of how I did this flower. Now mind you, I watched a YouTube video to learn this in the first place, but it was pretty long, so I'm going to see if I can't make something a little bit shorter for you to show you how it's done and give you some of the tips that I've learned from the million videos that I've watched. So we're going to start with this. Hopefully I'll be able to get it to work right because I haven't done that style in the last few days because I've been trying to learn different things. But anyway, only going to use two colors for this, pitch black and eggplant. And you can see that they really are not just one color each. Eggplant, when you blow it out with the alcohol, blends into these different colors, which is why I love it. I think it's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. It's part of a pack if you buy them on Amazon. I think they're called the garden pack. Comes with cranberry and lettuce and eggplant. And then pitch black, which I think is funny that they call it pitch black because you can see when you blow it out, it is not just pitch black. It's beautiful. It's got like a deep denim-y blue and some brown that comes out of it. It's just gorgeous the way they blend together. That is just my favorite. So anyway, those are the paints that I'm going to use. Swatch cards, really, really, really handy. I have made them for all the paints that I got now because then you can lay them out together and see how they look before you start painting with them together and get combinations that you like with colors that are very complementary. So, okay, here we go. First, don't open your alcohol ink. First tip, don't open your ink right over top of your paper. Sometimes they splatter, and if you're looking for a nice clean background, you're gonna be bummed. Oh look, I got splatters, just tipping it over. Anyway, I'm going to put a couple drops, but I'm just stretching out those couple drops, or maybe it's really only one drop, I don't know, into kind of an oblong, so I actually touched the paper with the tip as I put it down. I'm going to use the airbrush I got. So you're going to hear the air compressor come on once in a while. But the idea when you drop the ink is that if you dry around the edges, it kind of forms a barrier so that it stops spreading. So if you don't want it to get huge, that's what you can do. I'm drying this all the way until it goes from shiny till, if you look the way the light's hitting it, like a matte finish on the top. So it's not wet anymore. But anytime you add alcohol, it lifts the ink and lets it flow. Same thing happens if you add other ink because it has alcohol in it. So let me open this knot on top, like I said. Sorry about my arm in the shot. Now I'm gonna put a couple drops of this at the bottom. So they kind of overlap. I probably could have overlapped it more. That probably would have been better. But I think it'll still work out okay. And now I'm gonna start blowing around the edges because I really don't want it to get any bigger than that. Gotta be careful not to blow it too close right directly or you're gonna make it splatter out. Let's go around the edges. Now I can see, I don't know if you can see it from your angle or not, but I see it drying up. Okay. Excuse the air compressor. I got tired of blowing with a straw and tried canned air, which you can also use, but it's really expensive and harder to control. And I just feel like it's a horrible waste for the environment throwing out all those cans too. So, plus you can't tip it sideways because then the can ices up. So I got myself a little airbrush. So I used Amazon gift cards left over from Christmas and my birthday. So I like to work on a little lazy Susan so I can rotate and not have to pick the paper up. But again, I just had this in the basement, so that was something that was easy to use. So I'm gonna start just to see how it goes here by putting a drop right on the edge, so it's like half on and half off the purple. And I'm gonna give it a little shot. And the way you do it is you follow all the way to the end. See how that's a nice point? If you don't dry it all the way to the end, it puddles and you wind up with those rounded ends. So one of the things I've learned is that it is all about where you are pointing your air. If you point it right at the paint is going to splatter out. If you point it behind the paint, then the air just kind of rolls across and pushes it down. So I try not to put this on top of wet paint, but as this dries, I can move closer and closer and closer and follow that down to the end. Sorry about the arm again. Oh, I did 2 drops there. So it may go further. I'm letting that lift that ink a bit before I start. If I come around kind of and blow from the side, I can kind of make that curve in a little bit. Follow all the way to the end. I'm going to come back up here and make sure that overlap zone is dry. But look at those beautiful colors in there. Love it. So there's a good start. All right, I'm gonna drop up higher. Now, mind you, I may totally screw this up with something that I do as I go along here, but we're just gonna give it a shot and see. See, this one kind of dried up before I got to it, but it's a small enough dot that it doesn't really bother me. Now this time you can see it's getting up into where I had the black drip of paint, so that's good because it'll add more color. That one split into 2 fingers, and I think that it's because I was closer to that ink when I hit it, so it was more like a getting it to splatter out effect. But I actually really like that. I'll do more of it when I get up closer to the top. But you just kind of go slow. I like that little curve over at the end. So it's really up to you what you want to make things shaped like. I think I'm gonna go 1 notch further and hope that I don't screw it up, although it looks kind of neat skinny like this. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go 1 notch further. Oh, keep your fingers crossed. Okay, now I was really up into the black, and see all that color that came in there? All right, so to give this more texture up here, I'm gonna do a little bit of shorter bursts. So let's see, I'm trying to only do 1 drop at a time. See when I do the little short bursts that were closer to the ink, how it's split into 3 fingers there? But I really like that. Let me make sure that this is dry. Got nervous. Also, every once in a while, kind of wipe off your alcohol top just to make sure that there are no extra drips on there. Look, you can see it splatters once in a while, so I've got these couple little dots on here, but it's not that big a deal. Not bad. Not bad. Now, let's just say, and I hope I don't screw it up as I do this, but let's just say that I decided I didn't like this. I could put another drop of alcohol here and I can blow right over it. Let's try it again. Keep your fingers crossed. I'm going to see if I can get a longer one. Okay, I like that. I like the colors that added. Love this. So now I feel like I need to add one on this side. Let's see. Sorry about the spinning. I have to flip it so I can check it out. Yet I always blow kind of away from me to the side. Here it goes. I kind of put that one too high, blobbed out a little bit. It's not terrible though. But now I feel like I need another one here. This is what happens, then I get too carried away. Ooh, that was a pretty one though. Okay, if you don't like, I hope this is still on the camera. If you don't like that white there, while you're working up here, you can get some more of the dark to cover over it. But I actually don't mind it. I just feel like it's too dark right here then. So, I'm not sure I'm gonna change anything. I think what I might do, but I need to make sure it's all the way dry first, is add another drop of pitch black to the top to get my top better. Because I kind of like this how it is. I'm not super keen on this line over here. I feel like it needs to have a curve in, and maybe I'll try and do that. Let's see. Not quite what I intended. I think I need to add another drop of black now. I wanted that to go out further and curve in, but it did not want to. Make sure this is dry. Drying that drop. Spread it around a little bit just to even that out. All right, now let's see. I really kind of need something else over here. And make sure that's dry. hoping when I spin and everything, it's still in the picture for you. It's hard to tell. All right, I need to make sure I get it shooting out more that way, so here goes. There we go. That's better. The paper's hitting on the legs of the tripod I'm using for the phone. Okay, I like that now. I'm not sure if I need to add anything or not. Maybe just a little. Get it aimed right. Oh, I like that. Let's see. So I'm debating if I want to go again and just try and get some little short bursts right here, or if I just want to go ahead and stop. I have a feeling I'm going to screw it up if I keep going. So I'm going to stop. Give it a little shot of air to help dry it. Now I'm going to see if I can get those little speckles off the top. I'm just going to get a little bit of alcohol on a Q-tip. Okay, that did that. All right. Pretty good, not bad. All right, so I'm gonna fill in that little light spot there. No. Yeah, I think I need to fill in that little light spot. So I'm going to put a little bit of black. I'll just put one drop of black in my palette so that it's there to work with. So one cool thing too is you can just keep these how they are, let them dry up. When you add more, it just kind of softens up what's underneath it, so you don't wind up wasting. So I don't really wash my palette. So I dipped my black, one of these little things, in the black ink. Just gonna cover that over. Maybe round out my shape just a little bit. I'll just go ahead and do that. I'm gonna dry it though, because I don't want it to lift too much. All right, so now, I guess I lied. I didn't just use two colors. I mean, two colors for that, but now I'm using snow cap, or just, you know, some sort of white. Doesn't have to be snow cap. And I like to dip it in my little drop of ink. You can see it wick up into there, but then I always dab off at least one before I start it on the paper or on the project, because sometimes it makes a bigger circle than I was hoping for. And sometimes I dab off so much that it hardly does anything. So some of these little speckles, you won't hardly even see. And you can see I concentrated the bigger ones towards the top. I'll turn it kind of sideways so you're not looking completely upside down. But those little ones down lower, they just give texture. Just add texture, especially since they kind of blend and lift the color that's behind them. This one feels like it needs to be a little bit of this crescent shape to me. I need another drop. I hate to waste, so I never put more than I'm sure I will need, because I can always add more. I just think it is so cool that this whole picture was, let's see, what do we do? 2 drops of black, sort of. 1 drop of color, then 2 drops of color, then I added 1 more black, and now a couple drops of white. I mean, this isn't even 10 drops of paint. And you need them to look kind of random. You don't want it to look too even. That looks a little too even to me. That's better. I wish this didn't shoot out quite as high at the top as it did, that it came down lower, but it does. And that's okay. I'm starting to like that now. Okay, I have no idea how long this video has been going. Hopefully it's rolling up there, because I haven't even really gotten up to check. I have a kind of goofy system set up here. This is green, way thinned down in alcohol, way thinned down. It started off as just where I was washing out a brush. I'm gonna use, these are nail tools, nail dotter tools for manicure people. And I got them on Amazon. It was like $6. And the other ends have different sizes. Well, they have different sizes of dotters, and then they have different sizes of brushes on the other end. So you can use those for things. So here, I'll set this, I'll bring it up. I dab a little off because I don't want it to be too thick. And kind of figure out where I want to stem. After you put it on, it spreads a little because it's got lots of alcohol in it. So that was one little dip in this thinned down stuff. Down here I have to be careful because I don't want to make that purple spread. Just adding a little bit of interest to it by kind of, I don't know, swiping back through it a little bit. I think it looks a little off center. I'll thicken it up so I can bring it over a little bit. I was trying not to run into that petal, but now I think I made it look off center. But there you go. It's not too bad as far as being off center. And then there's something about adding a signature. That's it. I will need to seal it with the Kmart spray. Kmart varnish, rather. Here it is. Hopefully that gets in focus for you. Got it at Hobby Lobby. 3 light coats. I'm glad it's a warm week coming up so I can take all these things out and spray them. 3 light coats. It does not have alcohol in it, so it sets the alcohol, where anything with alcohol that got sprayed on it would lift it again. So we'll use that. And then you should also know that alcohol inks are apparently very prone to fading. So I will also zap it with some of this UV resistant clear coating, also from Hobby Lobby. So glad I have a Hobby Lobby 5 minutes away. So I'll give it a spray with that too. Let's see. All right, so it looks different than the first one, but not bad. Something that's different on the first one is these little short ones. So if I had gone back in at the end, added a couple more drops, you know, one at a time, and hit them more closely aimed at the ink with little short bursts, that's what made these. So I could have filled in with another layer of those, but I just had a feeling I was going to screw it up if I kept going. But that would be the difference there. A $3.99 matte from Hobby Lobby sure makes it look kind of neat. So I think that's worth it. I guess that's it. I'm satisfied with that. I hope you guys have fun playing. Thanks.